Today in Higher Learning, with students preparing to head off to their freshman year in college, all the back-to-school ads take on a special urgency. Students and families are scrambling to get everything they need to make the transition to dorm living. And it's easy to go overboard and waste money at a time when the cost of heading off to college is expensive enough. Here to talk about having a sensible approach is Peter Kerwin from the Rhode Island Higher Education Assistance Authority. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Michaela.
All right, so moving into a dorm is really not only for the student but for the family as well. Is there a certain approach that they should take?
Well, you know, USA Today had a great story on this about kind of avoiding all of the hype and going overboard with that transition to college dorm living. I mean, The fact is, if you think about it, this is the second biggest marketing this back-to-school season. For retailers, it's the second biggest marketing time of the year for them.
Oh, yeah.
Second only to, you know, obviously the run-up to Christmas. So people are getting hit with all these messages telling them this is what your student absolutely, positively has to have if they're going to make that transition to college dorm life. So, you know, the National Retailers Federation is saying that people are expected to spend up to $800 this year on clothes, electronics, and furnishings for dorm rooms. Now that's down from last year, $835, sign of the tightening economy maybe, but it's a reminder that people have to be sensible about this stuff because, you know, you're talking about, you're not moving into a suite at the Westin. Right. It's a college dorm room. It's a cinder block box, basically. There's not a lot of space there, so if you know, there's all these pictures out there, all these things you have to have, all these furnishings, and, you know, if you get too much, forget about it. It's all going to end up on the curb. And somebody who was quoted in the article had a great rule of thumb, basically saying if you're coming to a college dorm for the first time with a U-Haul bringing all your stuff, you're bringing too much stuff.
Absolutely.
Fair rule. And I mean, one of the things is people face a lot of different advertising. I mean, there's one major retailer out there they've got a must-buy checklist for college students. And one of the things on that checklist is a paper shredder that can cost anywhere from $12 to $2,000. Now, I can see how this conversation is going to go with my daughter 4 years from now when she's going to college.
Right.
Oh, Dad,
you don't need the paper shredder.
We've got to get the $2,000 paper shredder. It's got all the bells and whistles. And I mean, bells and whistles? It's a paper shredder. All it does is rip stuff. What do you need?
You can do that, and there you go. I did it.
Exactly. How hard is that? But I mean, you've got other retailers out there offering whole packages of stuff, everything from an MP3 player to bedspreads to vacuum cleaners, all in the same color. And they're telling you, call up your college dorm roommate and make sure they're color coordinated too. I'm like, come on, please.
There's so much, and I know especially when I was moving in, and I wound up taking less and less as the years went. So figure out what you really need. Keep it simple. Peter, thanks so much for joining us this morning. And for more information on heading off to college, visit foxprovidence.com.